Hello guys and welcome to my new video. So today I'm going to be doing a healing guide for Sisters of the Moon encounter in Tomb of Sargeras raid. So we're going to be covering things like where to use cooldowns, how the fight actually progresses, what kind of trinkets, maybe legendaries I should be looking at. And first of all, I would like to say this is a very long fight, and the biggest issue in this, it is a healing fight. I would consider this as a healer fight. You want to go with around 5 healers. This is a very mana intensive fight. It is not it is like a lot of healers who attempt this the first couple of tries can see that they're out of mana at 50%. So you kind of have to consider that this is a team fight where healers should really minimize their mana spending during cooldowns. This, like I said, it is a 5 healer fight, so you have around 5. You're going to have a lot of cooldowns, and cooldowns like balance should be incorporated into rotation because they can save and they will save mana. The biggest issue is mana in this fight. It's all about having as much mana as possible by the end of the fight. Mana regen trinkets like Dark Moon Deck, in my instance, saved me 1 million mana back after 10 minutes that we killed the boss. So if you're having mana issues, like I said, mana regen trinkets work really well. So let's first go into the fight. The biggest difference in Mythic encounter is that when you actually cross over from the dark to the light side of the room, there's going to be AoE damage to the whole raid, and there's going to be a debuff applied that basically doesn't allow the whole raid to switch over at the same time. So you're going to have 4 different groups. You're going to have the right, left, and there's going to be 2 middle melee groups. The best thing to do, because this is going to occur throughout the whole encounter, this is the first part that you need to really know. Assign a cooldown for when the melee groups cross over. So what do I mean by this? Assign things like Trank, Balance, Divine, Hymn, anything like that. Like literally you can assign any of the healer cooldowns. So when the 2 middle groups, one middle group cross over and the second one cross over again, when the debuff runs out, crosses over again. So there's going to be kind of like a continuous AoE damage going to the raid. Pop a cooldown there just to save mana. Do not hold cooldowns in this fight. Like I said, mana is a huge issue, so you can actually use it during that phase. You have one melee group crossing over, it's going to apply a debuff to everyone. The minute the debuff falls off, the other melee group crosses over. You pop a Trank, you pop any of the cooldowns, it's going to heal up everyone. All the other healers just sit back and relax, and then you keep going with the rest of the fight. So this is actually the easy part of the encounter, which you should get really familiar with. Like I said, you might not need to pop a cooldown, but using a cooldown will save you mana. So another big issue is the Embrace of the Eclipse, which is basically happens every 45 seconds or so, as you can see in the graph here. It is basically a healing debuff bubble on, or a person needs to be healed up. This happens, like I said, every 48 seconds. You can also use a cooldown for this, but in my honest opinion and the way we did it, popping Balance, popping like Wings, popping Essence of Ganir, Flourish and things like that can actually be enough to heal up people. Just make sure your player frame shows up this debuff and make sure you hot them up or you heal them. Like I said, it happens every 48 minutes until a boss reaches a certain HP. In our fight, it actually happened until around 5 to 6 minutes. After that, it stopped happening, so you don't have to worry about it after 5 minutes. Before that, you should really assign a cooldown for each of the Embrace of the Eclipse, and for each time the 2 melee groups in the middle cross over. That's going to save you a lot of mana. So during the Embrace of the Eclipse, where you should be stacking, the whole raid should stack up, because there's Incorporeal Shot, which should be soaked by everyone in your raid to help to alleviate damage, because it's split across the whole raid. It's going to happen again every 48 seconds, just when the Embrace of the Eclipse, the healing debuff or the bubble is applied. It's going to happen twice, but it's going to happen twice at the start, and then it's going to actually stop, at least in our encounter. It's going to stop and come back at around 6 minutes. So you need to be prepared to soak for the first 2 incorporeal shots and to heal up everyone. So the first 2 ones are actually going to be like arguably the hardest ones at the start to heal up and soak. And then a third ability goes into hand. So this is what makes it a lot harder. So it's a glaive storm. So this is something that comes. There's a singular glaive comes out of the tiger, and and then when it hits the wall, it splits into 3, and then it splits into 3 again. This is the ability that actually will kill a lot of the people. This is the ability that actually, if you can handle properly, you will beat the boss. Glaive Storm is the hardest one because it hits you, applies a debuff. It probably brings you down to about 50% HP. Get hit again, you're dead. That's one of the reasons why Pridus, the legendary neck, is actually recommended and was used by a lot of guilds to beat this boss, because you can take a one hit with Pridus and you don't really have to worry about this. And I actually, if you are struggling with dodging glaives, please use Pridus. I actually ended up using it on my first go just to be safe. So glaives actually came in around 2 minutes 40, 3 minutes, and so that means you're not going to have incorporeal shot for the first 3 or 4 of the glaives. So that means you won't have to soak. The glaives first come in around 2 minutes 40. So you're going to have Eclipse of the Embrace, the healing debuff at around 2 minutes 40 as well. And then you're going to have glaives. So you need to heal up people and you need to dodge. And this is going to happen. These two abilities are going to happen until around 6 minutes. Embrace of the Eclipse is going to stop happening depending on the boss fight, and then after that you're gonna have glaives and incorporeal shot. So after that you're going to have to soak incorporeal shot, so basically stack up. Glaives are going to come around towards you, and you need to spread out and avoid the glaives. Like I said, you should have a healing cooldown for each of these phases. Basically, every time you're going to stack up, or you're going to soak incorporeal shot, or you need to heal up the debuff, you should have a healing ability there. Like I said, it doesn't seem, there is no point in the fight where all 3 abilities happen. There might be some overlap. You always can have 2 of these abilities happening at one time. So you need to make sure and pay attention every time. You might have to soak with incorporeal shot, you might have to dodge, or you might have to heal up multiple people with the healing debuff. This is the whole fight. This is a huge mana intensive fight. Your mana is going to struggle. There's movement involved when you dodge glaives, which makes Restoration Druids quite good because you can actually pre-hut, because everyone is going to be frantically running around. And like I said, if you can master this fight, if you can master Glaive Storm, which is dodging the glaives, you are going to be good. You're going to be fine. So Pridus is your friend. Let me know if this guide helped you out, and thank you for watching this little overview slash healing guide for Sisters of the Moon. And leave a comment below and just how your encounter went. How did you beat the boss? Or why are you struggling in the boss and things like that? I tried to answer all the questions. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next guide.